Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Print Pros. Every day we get asked time and time again, what are the differences between white toner transfer printing and direct-to-garment printing? We know there are obvious differences in the printing methods themselves and the quality of the prints, but we noticed that there are also differences in the time that it takes to print various garments. Now, we have printed thousands of t-shirts using these two methods and have even taught customers how. But one thing we want to find out today is how certain variables affect the printing time. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the different variables that I predict could affect the printing time on both the Luminaris 200 white toner transfer printer and the RICOH Ri 1000 DTG printer. And while I show you step by step on how to print using each method, I'll also be timing myself so that we can find out once and for all what factors have the biggest effect on printing times. So if you're just as curious as me, let's head on over to the machine and let's find out. Behind us, we have two of our best-selling printers, the Luminaris 200 white toner transfer printer and the RICOH Ri 1000 direct-to-garment printer. In today's episode, I'm going to demonstrate not only the full process of how to print on a t-shirt, but also time myself doing it on two different types of garments using two different size designs. To demonstrate, I'll first print a large front center design on a white t-shirt on both printers and then a small design on the front of a black t-shirt. Garment color and design size are two variables that theoretically could affect the printing time on these two methods, and today we're going to see if that's really true. In fact, make sure to comment down below which printer you think will print the fastest on these garments, and you could be the lucky winner of $100 off price on shopthericoma.com. All you have to do to win is comment down below and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be choosing a winner with the best comment to win a $100 gift card to shopthericoma.com. I'll then be announcing that winner on our Instagram page at Ricoma HQ. So be sure to join us there to find out if you won. All right, without further ado, let's get started.
Round 1.
All right, so before we get started, let's go over some of my predictions. So the first thing that we're gonna be doing is a white shirt with a big design, and with the white toner transfer printer, since it is a big design, we're gonna have to split it because the transfer paper is basically the same size as a regular standard paper. So to do that, we're gonna be doing two transfer papers. Now, because of that, it's gonna be double the heat pressing time and also double the cold peeling time. And now with the DTG, since we are gonna be doing a big design, it's gonna be a little longer on the printing time than a regular standard design or left chest logo. So on top of that, I'm also adding 16 passes so that the design can come out nice and crisp. Now, my prediction is that the DTG will be faster just because the white toner transfer printer, you have to align the design. So that's gonna take longer, at least for me. But then again, I'm not quite sure. So let's run the test and let's see what happens. All right, everyone, so now we're ready to do the first test, and it's going to be with the white toner transfer printer, and I'm going to be doing the big design. So let's go ahead and start the time. All right, so let's go ahead and preheat the bottom platen for 120 seconds. So that's gonna be 2 minutes. And let's head over here to our computer. So I'm just gonna grab my design. I'm gonna drag it over to the Luminaris software, which is the one that comes with your machine. So once you drag it in, I love this software, it's super easy. The first thing I just have to do is just resize it. So I think 10.5 by 10.5, I think that should do. And what I do most of the times is go into my color adjustment, adjust the black, just pump it up a little bit, saturation just a little bit as well. Disable my ink removal for this specific design, center it on my canvas, and as you can see, it's bigger than my canvas, so I'm gonna have to split it. So I'm gonna flip it, and then I'm going to split it. And now this page is gonna open. I'm gonna change the direction of the split to vertical, and I'm gonna overlap it by 2 inches. Now I am using a white shirt, so just gonna put a light garment, press OK. It's gonna split it for me. And now what I have to do is center it on the canvas, because now it's 2 different designs. And center this one on the canvas as well. And now I'm just going to go ahead and press print. All right, and I'm gonna press print on the other one as well. Okay, we're ready to go. Now let's go back to our heat press. There we have it. Let's go ahead and bring our shirt inside of the heat press. Let's put it in here. All right, so that the printer's already going, so I know the first one's about to come out. Let's do 10 seconds. All right. We have our first transfer with the first design. Gonna start putting it. Now, I am using a big heat press. This is a 16 by 20, so I could use both, and that also saves some time. So let's go ahead and grab our Luminaris. This is our adhesive sheet. So I'm gonna grab 2, place them with the yellow facing up, okay? So I'm gonna put the first one on. The printer's already going on the next sheet, so meanwhile that's happening here, you make a little dent so when you're peeling it off it's faster. Remember, this is gonna be hot peel, so grab our second sheet here and do the same thing. Put it right on top. So this is gonna be for 2 minutes, 120 seconds at 310 degrees. Nice. So this is a hot peel, so I'm going to rush it a little bit. All right. I want all that toner to stay there. Nice. Next. Alrighty. Perfect. I'm gonna throw this away. And now let's move on. So I'm gonna grab the shirt, put it on my heat press again. Okay. Place it right there. And I'm going to do the top first because what I want to do with the top, I want to have 4 fingers away from the collar. So I would say right around here. Okay. A little more. Perfect. Okay. And now we're going to put it in the heat press for about 15 seconds exactly. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is let this transfer cool off because now we need to do this as a cold peel. All right, let me see. Feels pretty good. Peel, peel, peel. So I'm just gonna throw this away here. And let's go ahead and now do the second part. Now this part takes a little longer. All right, I think I got it. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is use this sheet of Teflon paper and cover the one on the top, okay? And with the big sheet of Teflon paper, I'm gonna cover both of them because I want this one to get hotter than that one. All right, so now this is gonna be for another 15 seconds at 310 degrees. Okay, perfect. 15 seconds, let's bring it out. Take the Teflon sheet out, and this one, just do it slowly because this one's already touching the one on the top that doesn't have any transfer. So the same thing, let's go ahead and put it away for a little bit, let it cool off. All right, so it's been about a minute now. It feels cold, so let's see if we can peel it. Nice. Put it for 30 seconds now. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna put my hand right on top so it doesn't bring the Teflon sheet up on its own. I'd rather do that myself. And do it nice and smooth and slow, and you can stop the time. All right, everyone, so now we're ready for the second test. It's gonna be using the DTG with a white shirt and a big design. So now let's go ahead and start the time. All right, so first thing is drag over my design to the software. It's gonna load up. As soon as it's done loading, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm gonna double click so I can get some settings out. So double click. Now these are my settings here. I'm gonna go over to my job, rescale it to the same as the other one, so 10.5 by 10.5, and I'm going to change my offset center point on the X to the center and as well to my Y. So I am going to change the Y to 2.0 so it can be a little closer to the neck. And now I'm going to go over to colors and basically select my media. It's going to be white garment. Make sure that I have my meta mode at 16 passes. It is going to take a little longer, but then again, it's going to look a lot better. And that's it. Just press OK. Control print. There we go. And now it's going to automatically rip, and it's going to send it over to the file that I had selected before. So once it does that, I can move over to my DTG files, and I'll see it there. All right, so here we have it. I already see it here. I'm just going to go ahead and send it to my USB drive. Okay, so now it's sent over to the USB, so let's put it on the DTG. So just put it in, and we're going to select the USB button. And let's look for the image. Is this one right here? Select print, yes, and then we're going to return. There we have it. So now let's go ahead and grab our shirts and let's get all the wrinkles out. Let's get all that moisture out. We're gonna do it for just 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. There we go. So now we're gonna get a lint roller, and I'm gonna go vertical and then horizontal to get everything out. So as you can see, it kind of made it a little bit wrinkly. So let's just fix that. Just put it back in for like 10 seconds. So now we're ready to put this on the pre-treat machine. So I've already set up my pre-treat machine. I do that every morning, so I know that if I'm gonna use it, it's ready for me. So what we're gonna do here is try to center as much as possible because you want the pre-treat to be in the middle of the shirt. Put it in, press the start. This literally takes less than a second. Bring it right back out. And I like to use a pearl because it always makes it nice and even. So now to seal the pre-treat, we're gonna go ahead and put it on the heat press. We're gonna do 15 seconds. So as you can see, all that moisture is out. Do it again. I say one last one, and I think we're good. So the last 10 seconds, and we should be all right. Alrighty. So now let's go ahead and put it on our DTG machine. Let's put the frame on, make sure it's nice and even, nice and flat. That looks amazing. Let's go ahead and seal this up. Here we go. Put it back on. Another 20 seconds. Now, the reason why I like to do it like this is because since it's a white shirt, I don't want it to get burnt and then it gets yellowish. And you can stop the time. All right, so there we have it. The DTG was 10 minutes and 15 seconds, while the white toner transfer printer was 12 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a couple minutes off. I could have maybe done the alignment a little faster and gotten a little bit closer, but there's no way around the fact that we have to do double heat pressing and double the cold peel. So for this one, DTG was faster than the white toner transfer printer.
Round 2.
All right, so now we're ready to move on to the next round, which is going to be a black shirt and a small design. Now, with the white toner transfer printer, this time, since it is a small design, there's no need to align, there's no need to double heat press or double peel. This is just gonna be a regular standard two-step, meaning we're gonna transfer over to the transfer paper and then the adhesive and finally on the shirt. All right, now with the DTG, we are going to be doing two layers. One is gonna be the white layer, and then on top of that is going to be the colors, and that's just because it is a black shirt, so we have to do that. Now, on top of that, I am adding the 16 passes just like I did in the last round so that the image can come out nice and neat. Now, on this one is going to be less airing time than the white shirt because we won't be doing 20 seconds and airing it out and doing that 3 times. We're actually going to be doing just 35 seconds and we're gonna be doing that twice. So my predictions on this one is that the white toner transfer printer is going to be faster just because I don't have to align the two parts of the design together. All right, so nothing left to do but to begin this round. All right, everybody, so now we're ready to move on. We're gonna do a small design on a black shirt, and we're gonna start off with the white toner transfer printer. So let's go ahead and start the time. So like always, I preheat my bottom platen to 120 seconds, and that's always at 310 degrees. So next I'm gonna go to my design, to my software I'm going to drag it over to my Luminaris software. And I'm just gonna start off with the size of the design. I'm gonna put width 8.5 by, I would say maybe 5. I think that should be enough. And then I'm going to adjust my black, gonna bump it up a little bit, just like my saturation, disable my ink removal. And now I'm going to center it on my canvas and turn it around so I don't have any areas, any room for error there. And basically just go ahead and print it. All right. So I'm going to use this time to basically get a step ahead. So just 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Move this shirt out of the way. Grab our design over here. We're going to place it on top. And grab our adhesive, place it on top of the design. And now at 310 degrees for 120 seconds so that the toner can adhere to the transfer sheet. All right. And nice and steady. And let's put it in the heat press. Trying to align it so it could be easier for me visually to see it. It's going to be about 4 fingers off. I'll take around right here. 30 seconds. Now, just take it off the heat press. I don't like to leave it on the heat press because then it'll definitely take longer than that. Okay, so it feels pretty cold. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I'm able to do it. Nice. All right, so all we have to do now is just seal the design onto the shirt. There we go. And there we go. So we can go ahead and stop the time. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on to a small design with the black shirt, but this time using the DTG machine. So let's go ahead and start the time. All right, first thing I'm going to do is grab my design, drag it over to the software, and just drop it there. So once it loads, I'm going to select it. It's going to show up on my screen. Going to double click it and I'm going to start doing my editing. So I'm going to go over to job, rescale it. That's the first thing I want to do. So for the height, I'm going to put it at 5.0 and for the width at 8.5, just like the white toner printer. And then I'm going to center it on my platen. So I'm just going to change the Y so it can be a little bit closer to the neck area or to the collar. I'm going to go over to my media and change it to black. And my meta mode, I'm going to leave it at 16 passes. It is going to take it a little longer, but it's a lot better. So I'm going to go over to my rip part, and I'm going to use document transparency. And then I'm going to use on my advanced settings, the special colors, change it for brightness so it can print out the black. I'm going to press OK. It's going to save. And now all I have to do is just Control P. Is going to rip it. It's going to send it over to the file that I have pre-selected when I first downloaded the software. And once it does that, I'm just going to go over to my folder. Here it is. Select the design, right click, send it to my USB. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab the USB. We're going to insert it. All right, and now let's go ahead and move on to our heat press. The first thing I'm going to do in the heat press is grab my shirt, get all the moisture out and all the wrinkles out. And this is going to be just for 10 seconds. All right. So this is a pre-treatment machine. Now this is more consistent and it's faster. That's why I like to use it. Make sure that your shirt is nice and flat so it can be more consistent. As you can see, it's a lot faster, and I honestly prefer using the Pro machine instead of using anything else, but to each his own. All right, so now let's go ahead and seal the pre-treatment. We're gonna be sealing it for 30 seconds. We're good to go now. Let's open it up. Yeah, it's still definitely wet, so let's do another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's pretty good. Let's just do one more just to be safe. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it over to the DTG machine. Let's put in our frame. All right, that's looking real nice. Let's go ahead and get it off. And now let's go ahead and seal the design onto the shirt. So all we have to do is just put it on the heat press. And we're gonna do just 35 seconds. There we go. So you can see all that moisture is coming out. So it's nice to get all the moisture out. And we're gonna do the last 35 seconds. Alrighty, perfect. You can go ahead and stop the time. All right, so it looks like I was right for the second time. Woo, yay me. Well, in all serious talk, I mean, the white toner transfer printer took a total of 8 minutes and 4 seconds, while the DTG took a total of 9 minutes and 9 seconds. That is really close. So I guess I was just lucky on this one. All right, so now that we know that the color of the garment and the size of the design affect the time of the process, so there's also something that's very important to me, and that is how they come out. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. That's it, guys. I hope that you're as glad as me to finally discover the nuances that affect different printing methods. Now, a tip I have if you want to decrease the printing times on your DTG is to order pre-treated shirts. Pre-treated shirts will cut out the time that it takes to pre-treat, but keep in mind that it will limit you on your inventory if you slowly rely on them, since they are only a few brands that offer this. Another point that I want to mention is that you just saw me only printing one shirt at a time. But what if you're printing in bulk? Printing in bulk will surely have an effect on the printing times between these two methods. For DTG, for example, you can queue up multiple print jobs in the software, and as one t-shirt is printing, you can use that time to pre-treat the rest of the order or cure any part of the order that already has been printed. With the white toner transfer printing, the process is more manual, and you'll have to transfer and press each design yourself for every garment. Now comment down below if you agree with my bulk order predictions and if you'd like to see me do an episode on this in the future. And finally, if you want to learn even more about the differences between these two processes that I went over today, check out the episode of Apparel Academy that I've linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys. Now remember, if you want to see more content just like this, and potentially win $100 off price on shop.ricoma.com, all you have to do is comment down below and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be choosing a winner and announcing that winner on our Instagram page at Ricoma HQ. So make sure you join us there and find out if you won. You can also leave a comment on what type of content you would like to see on our channel next. If you want to see even more content just like this, follow us on Instagram, where we just reached 30,000 followers. We're also active on TikTok, so make sure to check us out there as well. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.